Hey guys, this week on the Veg Heads.
Today we're going to be making a Moroccan style tofu with a vegetable medley and sweet potato mashed.
We got our sweet potatoes for our good healthy potassium, as well as our milk. But if you have cardiovascular disease, you may want to be careful about your intake, or if you have any other health restrictions that would require you to be careful. Also, we want to make sure we don't overcook our vegetables because we want to retain all the nutrients.
The ingredients we have for today, we have tofu, sweet potatoes, cornstarch, fat-free yogurt, cauliflower, broccoli, carrots, our seasonings right here, onion, reduced fat milk, and
Smart balanced butter,
Yeah.
olive oil. So now we slice our tofu into 1-inch thickness. We add a paper towel underneath and on top, and then we add our weight to remove all the water.
Slicing and dicing the sweet potatoes so they cook together.
we're gonna add the sweet potatoes to boil for 15 minutes.
And here's Mirella, chop, chop, chopping away.
Chop, chop, chopping.
We're gonna add our vegetables to the pan so it can bake.
Next, we're going to season our vegetables with some pepper, some salt, and a little bit of garlic powder.
Now we're going to bake the vegetables for 20 to 29 minutes.
25.
25.
How is it, Cassandra? No?
I'm definitely not a fan of the tofu. And maybe it's just because of the way it's cooked. Yeah. I think it could be better in other forms, maybe.
Edison?
I had a lot of stuff.
Nope.
The vegetables are great though.
Yeah.
So for our case study today, we are dealing with Mr. H, who is a 48-year-old African American. He has a 5-year history of hypertension, diabetes, and hyperlipidemia. He also has chronic active hepatitis C and is part of a randomized trial that included Actos, Pegasus, and ribavirin. He is currently on 4 different medications, claims that he eats on the run, and will usually stop at McDonald's for an Egg McMuffin. He has some slight blurring of vision, which we were concerned with. No headache, no cough, no trouble swallowing, but he does have occasional heartburn. He has no muscle aches, no skin complaints, and no change in mood, but is somewhat fatigued. There's no report of swollen glands. His blood pressure is 142/88. His height is 72 inches, weighing about 229 pounds. His creatinine is 1.0. His hemoglobin A1C is 6.3%. Total cholesterol 141. Triglycerides 92, HDL 44, and LDL 79.
He's actually not on anything that controls any of his high blood pressure.
Yeah, he's only taking hepatitis C medications and diabetes.
For our first question, we had to research the sodium content of processed foods that he is consuming. What do you think, Edison?
Egg McMuffin, he had 1,100 sodium. Oh my
What was
goodness.
his sodium intake for that one?
For an Egg McMuffin, yeah. It's 1,000 milligrams.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to worsen his hypertension.
The recommended daily allowance is only 2,300 milligrams of sodium. So he's already at basically like half that with just his breakfast.
And mind you, is an Egg McMuffin nutrient dense? So he's basically having a snack.
That's the thing. Throughout this case study, I've seen that he was snacking throughout the day. So I will suggest to the wife that she probably makes food that is fulfilling.
How many milligrams of sodium was in the hamburger helper?
3 different hamburger helpers here. I got the spaghetti hamburger helper, which has 1,510. Then I have the lasagna, which has 1,528. The beef pasta has 1,753.
So he's definitely going over his sodium intake.
The problem with that, so since he's hypertensive, he doesn't control his hypertension to bring him into renal failure.
As for the oven roasted turkey, I want to say that's the lowest he had, which was 790, which was very surprising. It was a peanut butter cracker, which was wheat. The sodium for that is 807.
Okay,
So
and
what
then
should we
now-
recommend him?
Yeah, for substitutions for his meals. So for breakfast.
Maybe like an avocado with whole wheat toast.
Boiled eggs the night before.
But we have to watch his cholesterol, so
Yeah.
maybe like egg whites.
steel cut oat.
white eggs, and spinach frittatas.
And then freeze them and then eat them throughout the week.
Chick-fil-A has like that sandwich for breakfast that's egg whites and a whole wheat toast.
But what's the sodium with that? Because like anything that is processed is usually higher in sodium.
It's 750 milligrams.
You cannot have that. You can have an egg toast with salsa.
And what would he have for lunch?
He can have a veggie hummus sandwich.
Maybe he could have like a salad.
Can we do a grilled chicken with salad?
Dinner, lemon herb, salmon.
Okay guys, so it seems that Mrs. H is responsible for making his meals. So let's kind of discuss different ways to go about speaking with her about how she cooks and what she can do to change.
Provide her with recipes.
So we know they're a fan of Hamburger Helper. So I'm wondering if we can maybe make a substitute for that.
We need a lean meat.
We need to see what they're currently eating because I do see that she does make some meals from scratch. What do you guys think of that?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And then if she makes her own seasoning, that's how you can limit the salt intake.
We need her to try to keep a record of what she's cooking, what he's consuming, so we can see where the higher intake for sodium is.
And just to not use boxed meals because they have a lot of hidden sodium.
Buy low sodium products. She's going to use sauces to make sure it's low sodium. You know how they label it?
Sometimes the one that doesn't say it has lower sodium than the one that says lower sodium.
That is true. Oh, her butter. Use a different type of oil.
Yeah, I think according to the DASH diet, it says soft butter, low-fat mayo, light salad dressings, vegetable oils, or like olive oil, corn.
Cauliflower steak.
Egg sandwich.
Avocado egg sandwich. She can make meals like that, and also those could carry over to the next day.
And low fat dairy. She decides to use cheese or milk.
And potatoes, yeah.
I'm a good master.
Oh, yes, you are.